Hello and welcome to BBC World News. More than a day after it was engulfed in flames, the fires are still smouldering at Grenfell Tower in West London. 12 people are confirmed dead, but police do sadly expect that figure to rise significantly, with scores of people still unaccounted for. Fire crews have simply been unable so far to search every floor of the 24-storey building. 78 people are in hospital, 18 of them are critically ill. Well, let's just show you the scene now, live in West London. As you can see, that blackened tower is now pretty much, we think the fires are out, although we were still seeing some smouldering and some smoke within the past hour or so. As I was saying, unfortunately, fire crews haven't yet been able to reach the top floor of that devastating fire. So although we know that 12 people have died, they are warning that they expect that number to rise significantly. They think around 500 people were living in that building at the time. Fire crews managed to save 70 or so people, but it's very difficult to estimate just how many people were in the building and how many escaped. Well, let's join our colleagues now. Victoria Derbyshire at the scene.
Good morning from North Kensington. This morning we are at the Westway Sports Centre on one of their basketball courts. You might be able to hear the traffic above me. We're just under the A40, the Westway, one of the main arterial routes into the capital. And here on this basketball court, people have donated so much for those who lost everything in the fire at Grenfell Tower. Let me show you some of the things that have been donated. Look at that. Look at those hundreds and hundreds of pairs of shoes for children, for teenagers, for young adults. Over here, you can see the toys that have been donated for children, for toddlers in particular down here, and young girls. And then over here, we've got the cuddly toys, and also bags and bags of books. Now, volunteers spent much of yesterday and most of the evening, actually last night, working through the night to get these donations into some kind of order. And you can see they've managed to do that here. We've got piles of girls' vests, dozens of them. Next to that, we've got girls' shirts. We've got pyjamas. We've got boys' jackets, boys' shirts, boys' trousers, boys' underwear and socks. And so it goes on. I mean, if we can just show you a 360-degree, I mean, look at this, yeah, clothing donations for fire victims. But have a look at 360 degrees around this basketball court. You can see how much stuff. And this is just one area where people have donated goods. Just one area. Right next to me is the actual sports centre, which is a relief centre, effectively, for people evacuated not from the tower itself, but from surrounding homes and flats. And they provided beds for 300 last night. 40 to 50 people stayed over in the end. Many of them are still inside. Many are completely traumatised by what they witnessed. There are mental health workers inside, I'm told. There are social workers inside trying to help people come to terms with the fact that they may have lost loved ones in the tower. Everybody says they have been overwhelmed by support from the people who live in North Kensington. The volunteers at these relief centres are saying, thank you so much for everything you've donated, but please, we don't need any more for the moment. What they do need, actually, are volunteers during the day, because so many volunteers have had to go to work today, for example, having stayed off work yesterday to help. So if anybody can help between 9 and 5, they are asking for those volunteers. I mean, the big question when you talk to people, it's much quieter this morning, it really is. You know, the people that I have spoken to, they just want to know why. They just want to know why, how it is that something can happen like this in a tower block in 2017. I'm really keen to hear from you today. If you live in a high-rise block of flats, I want to know from you, are you confident today that your agency, your association, your management organisation, whoever looks after, whether it's the council, whoever looks after your block of flats, are you confident they have done all they can to keep you safe? I really want to hear from you this morning, so do get in touch in the usual ways. You can send me a message on Twitter, #VictoriaLive. You can send me an email, victoria@ bbc.co.uk. Many people, as you know, are still missing. Many people. They include Jessica Urbano Ramirez, a 12-year-old who's believed to have become separated from her family when the blaze broke out. Husna Begum, who lived on the 17th floor and is missing with 4 other members of her family. 27-year-old Mariam El Ghwari, a marketing manager who is believed to have last spoken to someone at 2:30 a.m. yesterday morning. 66-year-old retired lorry driver Tony Disson, who lived on the 22nd floor of Grenfell Tower. Mo Tuku, a British national from Eritrea, who was visiting friends and family at the Grenfell Tower with his wife and his 3-year-old daughter. They'd gone to break their Ramadan fast. And 24-year-old artist Khadija Say, who lived on the 20th floor. Labour MP David Lammy's wife was her employer and mentor. Mr. Lammy tweeted, "If you have any information about Khadija Say, please contact me. She is our dear friend, a beautiful soul and emerging artist." Khadija's mother, Mary Mendy, is also missing. The official number of dead stands at 12, although the police say they expect that to rise significantly during a long and complex recovery operation. Firefighters are continuing to tackle pockets of fire in the block. I mean, that is astonishing. Over 24 hours since the fire broke out, and there are still flames in that building. Let me introduce you to Harris Iqbal, who is here. Hey, Harris, good morning. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Victoria.
Nice to meet you, Victoria.
Nice to meet you. Tell our audience how you've been helping.
Just to introduce Penny Appeal, we're an international humanitarian organisation that currently works in over 30 crisis aid countries around the world. And we've been here since the onset of this emergency with our volunteers, otherwise known as Team Orange, providing food, hot food provisions, blankets, pillows, and necessary essentials to ensure families can keep themselves going in what is a very, very difficult time.
I wonder, Harris, if you would be so kind as to show us some of the, I mean, I've mentioned to our audience some of the things that people have donated, but if we can have a walk down here, if that's possible, and you can just talk us through. And the people who are dropping this stuff off, what are they saying to you?
I mean, the community response has been absolutely overwhelming, and, you know, walking around here, you can just see the very generous donations that have come in all sorts of forms, from clothing to baby care, nappies, and you can see it just around you labelled. You've got all sorts of aid that has been distributed and provided for the families that have been affected. We're currently at a stage where we're at capacity and unable to accept any more aid, but the response has just been so phenomenal.
Right. Why do you think that is?
I think as a British community, that's something we're exceptionally good at. We're at times of difficulty, at times of catastrophe, and this certainly is very much a humanitarian crisis where the way communities pull together is absolutely amazing. And over the last couple of hours and last couple of days, it's been a very fine example of communities coming together.
Yeah. There are some very, very, very traumatised people who are perhaps only now absorbing the fact that possibly they have lost a loved one in that town.
Absolutely. There are a number of families who are grieving at the moment. There are those who still have loved ones that are missing, and others who have lost their homes, their livelihoods and their belongings. And so, it's a very distressing and upsetting time. We're here providing emotional support, providing a listening ear and befriending with our volunteers, and we'll continue to do so over the next couple of days, and if longer if need be.
Okay, I'm going to introduce Anne Johnson. Anne, hello, good morning. Do join us. Hey, I'm Victoria, thank you for talking to us. Good morning, nice to see you.
Nice to meet you too.
You live around here?
Yes, I do.
And what are you thinking about what's happened?
I don't think anything for what has happened. It's what I saw. Right. It was around, it must have been around about 1:45 in the morning. I heard a lot of commotion. Obviously it woke me up, so I got up to see what was going on. And from my front door I could see the building on the top was on fire. And within half an hour that fire from the top went to the bottom. And then from the top of the building it started spreading, like from the top to the end. At the very top of that building, I saw around about 6 children, all crying for help. and within, I would say by 1:30, that all from the top of the building, halfway down, smoke just got into the flats, everything went black, and you never saw anybody again. Many people were hanging out their verandas, they were screaming for help, they were waving their telephones, t-shirts, anything just to say, we're here, we need help, we need attention. By around 3 o'clock, that whole building from the top nearly to the bottom was gone.
We're going to leave Victoria, Derbyshire there, and we will of course have more coverage of that devastating fire in West London yesterday.